Do you feel bad for these people? You want to apologize? You want to say you're sorry? What'd you do with the money?
Brandon Heitman's head must be swimming with thoughts as he leaves court. Too bad some of Brandon's clients aren't swimming. Brandon's accused of taking money to build them pools, but instead left them high and dry. And while this self-dubbed million-dollar pool contractor is probably expecting to get splashed, I'm also gonna dunk his lawyer.
Are you Glenn Philip Franklin, counselor? Because if that's you, you also have felony charges against you, don't you?
It's the preliminary exam for the state of Michigan versus Brandon Heitman. Brandon is in court, looking good in his big boy suit. His family is in court as well, although they're not really sitting with him. Now, Brandon nervously awaits in the defendant's seat. Shelby Township District Judge Douglas Shepard takes the bench.
Glenn Franklin appearing on behalf of Brandon Heitman, who appears to my immediate left.
Yeah, that's Brandon's lawyer, Glenn Franklin. He and Heitman may have something unusual in common, but first, let me tell you how we got here. In August, I introduced you to Brandon in my Hall of Shame investigation. He was a big-time internet influencer, portraying himself as a successful contractor.
Hey, Brandon Heitman here. We can get you a new swimming pool. Got a lot of money coming in and a lot of money going out.
This 30-year-old phenom was a mentor to other contractors. He ran something called the Heitman Academy, where you could pay him to learn how to be a super success. Brandon made his alleged fortune running a company called Exigent, but it turned out the million-dollar contractor didn't even have a contractor's license, at least not until March of this year. But before that, he'd put in a bunch of pools that were disasters.
Our pool is essentially garbage. It needs to be torn out and started from scratch.
Becca and Alex gave Exigent more than $100,000 for their pool that they say is sinking, put in crooked, not even level. This is DN's pool. It won't pass code, so it sat in this state for 2 summers. DN says she gave Exigent $122,000, but Brandon wants more money to fix his mistakes.
I'm not the bank. We've paid you for this. And he started crying.
Brandon used the Crybaby Contractor Act on Joe and Angela as well.
He started crying.
Paul and Brandon got real sad when Angela and Joe asked what happened to the $60,000 they gave Exigent for their pool, a pool they never got.
What have you bought with my money?
And what does he say?
I don't have it.
Brandon's business wasn't at the address listed on company papers. Instead, I found him at this work yard in Shelby.
What's going on with your business?
Talk to my attorney. Thank you.
I want to talk to you.
Great offer.
Well, what's going on with your business now? You're a talkative guy. I've seen your videos.
Thank you. Don't run away from pressure.
How's the Heitman Academy going? Why don't you give back the money to the $60,000 to Angela and Joe?
Brandon was charged with felony taking money under false pretenses over $50,000 and felony fraudulent use of the builder's contract fund. After my story aired, Brandon was charged with a third felony, another false pretenses over $50,000 case. He's pled not guilty. Exigent filed for bankruptcy in August. That brings us back to the present. Angela and Joe are here to testify against Heitman, but the case is adjourned until next month. Outside, I'm interested in talking to Brandon and his attorney because Mr. Franklin went on YouTube claiming I ignored his calls.
Hey, Brandon, what do you got to say?
He has nothing to say.
How's it going?
Okay, what's your defense going to be?
We have no comment other than last time you spoke with him, he asked you to call me. Mm-hmm. I called you 2-3 times.
No, you didn't.
I did. I have my phone records.
Okay, you show me that.
Once called
what
me back.
number did you call me at?
Whatever number was on
I
your
saw
card.
you on some little YouTube thing.
So, whatever number was on your card, and I have my phone records.
Okay, well, you show me that, because
Okay.
I don't believe you. So, Brandon, what's your defense going to be?
Brandon doesn't say a word as his wife and lawyer lead him to his truck.
So you're filing for bankruptcy. You got other charges too, right?
Wait, are you saying that Brandon's filing for bankruptcy?
Then isn't his company filed for bankruptcy?
Why don't you be clear about what you're saying?
Okay, Perry Mason, you're messing with the wrong reporter. It just so happens I have a federal indictment, and look who's named as a defendant in this fraud case, attorney Glenn Philip Franklin. Let me read from the case. Auto Accident Attorneys PLLC was a professional limited liability company operating as a law firm from a business location in Southfield, Michigan. Auto Accident Attorneys was controlled and operated by defendants Glenn Philip Franklin and Brent Farouk Sido. The case involves alleged illegal selling of info regarding Detroit auto crash reports where several profited. The case goes to jury trial later this month. Charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud, it reads Glenn Philip Franklin and others intentionally, unlawfully, and knowingly did combine, conspire, confederate, and agree between and among themselves to devise a scheme and artifice to defraud and obtain money and property.
Is that you, counselor? Here's my card so you can make sure that you contact me. There's my phone number. Is that you, Mr. Franklin? Right there? Who also has felony charges? Brandon, make some room. You may have a partner in the Hall of Shame.